What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about why it's a bad idea if you are an owner-operator or if you're somebody aspiring to be an owner-operator in trucking. You want to be an owner-op, you want to grow a fleet, start a fleet. That is your goal. This video is for you. Make sure you stay tuned till the very end, because if you don't, you won't hear the entire point, and I really do believe this is important. Everything I'm about to talk about in this video, because I do see what I'm about to talk about floating around all over YouTube, whether it's other videos that I've watched or I've had comments on my own channel where people will say this, and what do they say? Well, they say that, hey, right now, the trucking market, the freight market's horrible. You can't make any money. The best thing you can do is park your truck and wait it out. Park your truck, go get a job, and just wait until the market goes back up. The freight market, the rates, they go back up, right? And I'm going to tell you why that is a bad strategy. It's a horrible strategy. It's such a short-term mindset, short-term strategy. It's horrible. It's not going to work over the very long run. That just won't work. Why is that? Because the truth is that whether we're in a down market or a sideways market or a very high, hot, booming market, if you start your business and you run your business efficiently, you run your truck efficiently, whether you have one truck, 10 trucks, 100, 1,000, 10,000, same rules apply. If you run your business the right way, you shouldn't have to worry about the fluctuations in the rates at all. You should not. Now, I personally do not, I am an owner-operator, I do not run off of the spot market right now. I do not. But when the spot market rates actually exceed what I'm making with the company I'm currently leased onto, then I will miss out on that upside in the spot market by staying where I'm at. But I'm also protected against the downside with running contract freight. So that's my personal situation. However, I do have a load board subscription. I do look at the rates all of the time. And why do I have that? Well, because in case in the future I decide to go out there, get my own authority, and run spot market freight and deal with brokers, I want to know what the rates are doing. I want to study the seasons. I want to know, hey, in the wintertime, what are the rates like? In the spring, in the summer, in the fall? You know, I want to know how that market works, and I look at that all the time, and I can see the rates right now. I've looked at them, I've compared them to what I currently make with the company I'm leased onto, and with the way I have my business set up, with the way you should have your business set up if you're going to be an owner-operator, and I'll get into how you should set that up in this video later on. But as long as you're running a low cost of operation, a lean trucking business, you should have no problem surviving the market we're in now. And even lower than this, I mean, yeah, is it great when the market's high? Absolutely. You can make a ton of money. When the rates go up, anybody can make money, but that's not how you win in trucking long term. Anybody who's been around trucking for at least 5 years knows there are ups and there are downs in trucking. That is going to happen. There are boom and bust cycles. And right now we are in, I wouldn't say we're in a bust cycle. We are in a moderate cycle. We're definitely not in a booming trucking market, but I wouldn't say historically we are in a down trucking market, in the tank. We are not there. The cost of doing business is what is affecting owner-operators more than anything. It's the cost of fuel, it's the cost of truck parts and service. That's what's really hurting everybody. It's really not the rates themselves, it's really the cost. Now, the rates are not great either in the spot market. I do agree with that. They're not great, but if you're running a low cost of operation and efficient business, you should still make out very well. If you get out there and run hard, you can do that right now. You can survive this and you can get through it. And the owner operators that have done this for a very long time that I know personally, that they're not running contract freight. I know owner operators who have their authority. I know some that are leased on, that work at different companies and they get paid percentage. They are doing just fine. Yeah, they have to work a little harder, but they're doing just fine. They're making it through because they have paid off trucks, they have low cost of operations. And why am I even making this video? Because I get tired of people saying things that are just not smart. Why would you want to invest all this money into an asset and have it just sit there making nothing? That is stupid. Do you see Crete Carrier? Do you see them parking their trucks and waiting for the freight market to go up? Do you see Swift doing that? Do you see JB Hunt doing that? No, you don't see any of these large carriers parking their truck and waiting for the rates to go up and basing their business model off of trying to time a market. You cannot time economic cycles. You can't do that. Just like you can't time the stock market, you can't time the trucking market. You can't time real estate. Maybe somebody out there gets lucky and they are able to time it perfectly in any of these markets, but most of the time, over the very long run, over a 5-year, 10-year span, you will not be able to effectively time the trucking market. You cannot predict what's going to happen in the economy in a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years. We don't know. Things happen all the time that you don't expect that change things, right? Good or bad. You can't do that. So what do you do? How do you have long-term success? Well, what I did is I decided to study the companies in this industry, the big companies that have had long-term success. And what do they all have in common? The ones that have been around for a very long time. One, they get direct customers. That's number one. They get direct customers. Either they get direct customers direct to shipper, or they work directly with a broker and they don't run spot market freight. That's number one. They do that. They have customers, a large customer base, okay? Or even if they're small, they have that. You know, owner operators, they're single mom and pop owner operators, small fleet owners that have direct contacts with brokers and they don't work off the spot market. That's what I would be trying to do if I was on the spot market or be leased onto a company that has those connections. That's number one, okay? And see, I'm leased onto a company it's nothing but contract freight. That's why I chose to do that. If you're somebody that's an owner op, look for a more stable environment, okay? Look for that. That's number one. This video is really for people just starting out being owner operators, or you're a single, you know, you have 1 to 3 trucks. That's who this is for. You know, you're not a large carrier. You can't go and get contracts easy. So it makes more sense to go and partner with a larger, more established carrier who has customers. They have contract freight, or they have direct relationships with brokers and they don't work off the spot market. That is number one. That is what I chose to do. That is what I would recommend anybody who wants to start out as an owner operator and succeed long-term do. Why? So that you can get more consistent rates. That's number one. And you're not chasing these economic cycles. You're not waiting for the boom market. That's how you solve that problem. That's number one. Not having to time the market. Number two, if you're going to buy a truck and be an owner-operator, make sure you do it debt-free. I've talked about this in many videos, and I'm going to talk about this a lot. If y'all want me to make owner-op videos, I'm going to mention this in almost every video I make. If you're going to be an owner-operator, save up and pay cash for your truck. Above that truck price, have a $30,000 emergency fund for that truck to cover any major repairs, any major thing that could go wrong starting out. And then once you get started and you're hauling freight, you're doing loads, you're making money, for every mile that you drive, put 10 to 20 account, and that should cover all of your routine maintenance. And over the very long run, if you put enough money in there, that should actually cover major repairs later down the line. But you're going to have to do that to have sustained success over the long run. You have to lay the foundation for your business, okay? You don't want debt so that you don't have high cost of operation. When you have no truck payments, you can haul freight for lower rates than the competition and still be profitable. You can do that, whether the market's up, whether the market's down. Yeah, you may have to work a little harder to make more profit, but you're still profitable because you have a low cost of operation. You know, if you're even talking about what people call a low truck payment, let's say $500 a week, $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year you're paying. That's a cost. That's $24,000 that you're having to pay a bank for that truck. And say me with the paid off truck, that's $24,000 I can put into my savings account. I can put that into an investment account. I can put that into my truck. I can invest in my truck to repair it, whatever. You can do many different things with that money. When you have high costs, you know, when you have a high truck payment, you're starting off on the wrong foot. You really are. It's not a good way to start off. It's not just about being out of debt, not having a truck payment. It's about when you're operating, you're more competitive. You're much more competitive, and you are running your truck much more efficiently than the competition, and you will be able to survive the ups and the downs. That's the biggest reason why people say that. Oh, I just park your truck and wait for the rate. Yeah, well, you know what? What if the rates never go back to where they were? Because in 2020 and 2021, and that's what most people were used to that just started out recently, what if we never go back to that market? We probably will never go back to the ridiculous freight rates that there were, unless there's another scenario like that again that plays out. I seriously doubt we're going to have a market like that ever again, or at least for a very long time. Yes, will we have a boom time in trucking again? Absolutely. Will rates go up? Yes, but will it be ridiculous where anybody can just buy a truck and mortgage their life away and still make a lot of money? I do not think that time period is coming back anytime soon, and you should not be planning being an owner-operator based on that scenario. Absolutely not. That is all my opinion. You can disagree with me all you want to, but let me know how that works out for you. If you do that, if you know, say you buy a truck and you park it, what sense does that make? You still have to pay insurance on that truck. You still have to pay stuff on that truck, even if it's paid off. And you put all this money into an asset that is producing you nothing. It's producing you nothing. I want anything that I put my money into, I want it to make money for me regardless of what economic cycle we're in, day in and day out. Even if, think about it, I'm a big index fund investor. I'm a big stock market investor. Most of my money is in the stock market, and I buy low-cost index funds. Well, even when the market is down, say we're in a bear market, let's say the market crashes 30%. Yeah, does it suck? Did the value of my shares go down in the short run? Yes, they did. Okay, what do I do as a long-term investor? Do I panic and do I sell and lock in that loss? No, I do not. I'm thinking long-term. Let's say it does. Let's say it goes down 30% next year. That's possible. Well, if I'm not selling my stocks, my shares, for another 30 years at retirement age, what does it matter if we have a bear market right now? So what do? I continue to accumulate ownership of the market. I continue to invest in those great companies, and I especially want to invest in those great companies when they're at a deal, because you don't always get a market crash, and you don't always get to capitalize and buy in when the market is down, when companies' valuations are down. That's the time you want to invest, really. That's the time you want to start a business, is when the market is down. Because if you can survive a down market, you can survive any market. And the stock market's no different. Think about it too. I'm not only accumulating accumulating shares of all these companies at a much lower valuation, but I'm also getting paid dividends. No matter what, I'm still getting paid dividends. So those dividends are being reinvested at lower prices. And yeah, eventually when the market recovers and surpasses the recent all-time highs and we make it out of the bear market, that's where you make most of your money. I believe trucking is no different than that. I don't just believe that. I know trucking is no different than that. I know that you have to have a business set up to where you can survive any economic environment. If your business is not set up in that way, let's say you own a truck right now and you're listening to me and you do have truck payments, your goal should be to pay off your truck as fast as possible and own your truck. Why? So you can free up that cash flow, and that cash flow can be put towards more productive things, right? And also you lower your cost, like I just alluded to. You lowered your cost so that you can run for the lower rates and still profit. You're more competitive, right? That's the key to business, is offering a great product and service at a great price to your customer, and doing it for more money than you spend, making it worth your while, right? It's that simple. I'm selling my service. My truck is the service. I'm moving freight for the company I'm leased onto. And as long as I gross more than my expenses, all of my expenses, and there's a reasonable amount of profit left over, that's what matters. That's what matters at the end of the day. And if I look at that profit every single week and every single month and every single year, and I compare it to the amount of money invested and get the actual rate of return that I want to get, it's worth my while. But if you're deeply in debt, you may not be making a great return on your investment. You may not, because your expenses are so high, you're barely breaking even. That's the problem. It's like in the last video I just did. I just talked about, what's been my experience as an owner-operator. That's been my experience. It's really common sense. Trucking is trucking. We're going to have boom times. We're going to have bust times. And if you can't make it right now, you will not make it 5 years from now. You will not. You should be able to make it right now. 100%. So the person who commented on, the reason it sparked this video, or one of the comments sparked this video, I saw it on my last video, and I just thought that was a ridiculous comment. Go park your truck, buy it, go park your truck and just let it sit there and make nothing. That's the dumbest thing ever. Why don't you just invest your money? If you're not going to buy a truck, invest your money in something else. Never have money just sitting there making nothing. Don't buy a truck and just have it sit there. That truck is losing value. You need to get that truck on the road making money. Moral of the story to end this video, have a long-term mindset. Ask yourself, if I'm going to start a business or I'm going to make an investment, is this thing going to be successful in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What can I do with it then? Don't think so short term. Eventually, the freight rates are going to go through the roof. They are, eventually. But when is that going to be? I don't know. And eventually, the stock market's going to have a big correction again. The last one was in 2022. When is that going to happen again? I don't know. You cannot time the markets. You can't time the stock market, the real estate market, or the trucking market. You can't time any of it. So what can you do? You can be slow and steady and invest consistently over the long run, because if you do that over the long run, you will make out very well. And that's what all the smartest investors of all time will tell you. Warren Buffett, buy the S&P 500 and hold it forever, and buy as much of it as you possibly can. Why? Why do that? Because the goal is to own assets that produce cash flow and go up in value over time. And how does that relate to trucking? Well, when I buy a truck is an investment. It is no different than a property, a rental property. It's no different than any other business. I'm purchasing this truck and I'm saying, okay, if I buy this truck, I can make X% rate of return per year Is that investment worth it? Okay, let's say I can make 50% on my money per year after I pay all expenses, including my salary, 50% on my money per year, owning one truck. Is that investment worth it? Yes, absolutely, it would be worth it in that case, because look at the alternatives. Could you make that same rate of return in the market? Could you make that same return in real estate? You have to compare it to other investment vehicles, right? So it just depends. What do you know about trucking? Do you understand that industry? Do you know how to run a trucking business? All of it is just a matter of knowledge, having the right financial foundation, and then having a strategy while you're running your truck. It's that simple. So don't listen to these people who tell you, oh, it's a bad time to get in, it's a bad time to start, because to them, it'll never be a good time to buy a truck. To them. If you have the cash and you have the knowledge about this industry, if you have enough money to pay cash, you have an emergency fund for your truck, okay? And honestly, you're out of debt personally as well. If you have that situation and you want to do it, do it. There's no better time to start than now. There isn't. There's no better time to start than now. Don't try to time the market. Stop listening to people who talk about the market all the time. It's counterproductive. Focus on starting your business the right way, running it efficiently, and learning each and every single day how you can get better and better and better and grow. That's all you can do. So that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like the video, sub to the channel. There'll be way more content like this in the future. And I will be posting Monday another video. Make sure you check that out. And God bless. Thank you for watching. And